The one thing I know is like sleeping with somebody else's ass.
She's like, oh, my 4-year-old daughter, like she loves your TikTok. So I'm like,
honestly, I'm gonna ride it as long as crazy.
Pause.
This guy let his company invest in him, put all their resources into him.
Like I can't imagine having a wife that can't chef it up and bring people together. Imagine you're just trying to justify why the food's bad when you have guests over.
whenever I can find time to step out of the house, I will. Like I find excuses. If I'm in a dope fit, I'm like, let me just walk to town hall and back.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Disruption Podcast. 211. It's the first time we got a guest in this new place. Obviously, you saw this last week. Yeah.
The episode that has not been shot yet.
But they don't know that.
But hey, sometimes certain guests don't live in the city. We got to do what we got to do.
I do it.
We shot an episode one time with this guy.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Do our intro and then we intro him properly. Yeah. Who we got?
It's Noor the Baghdaddy.
Chief Olosoji in the building, baby.
It's your girl Moeezy.
And
That's
the friends.
And the friends.
I'm the princess house.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. Hey,
So, yes.
Carl's couldn't be here, but you know, it is what it is.
Things happen. What happened?
We did shoot an episode in Sydney with
Yes.
this guy, and it was fire conversation.
Fun.
Great conversation. Genuinely, we made a friend.
Yes.
I'm so hurt.
Yeah.
Like every time I talk about this, it genuinely hurts me
And I think
so
we made 4
much.
friends as well through it. Alright. And then, yeah, obviously Sydney had its situations.
Do you remember when we called ourselves the best podcast in Sydney as well?
Greatest, I think it was on that
And then
episode.
that happens.
It was on that episode.
Oh, true, it was.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we got back to Melbourne. Decided to try to look through the stuff. We're planning it because we'll get into what's happened in the past month as well. Because a lot for all of us.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, let's set up these episodes, get them ready before we all leave. My goodness. When I heard this, what do you call it? Interrogation footage?
It sounded like interrogation.
It sounded like a jail interrogation, man. And I said, this man, we had a good conversation, but this is not how we want our people to experience this conversation.
I think it was also a little bit more bugging that it was that episode because like this is also a person that likes to present well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this person likes to dress
How
well.
dare we
all tried our best.
Yeah. How dare we now lower the standards?
Now put him out. Looks like we shot it on a microwave.
But we got the one and only Onyedika in
Yes,
the building,
sir.
man. But we
Welcome
call him
back.
Onya now.
Yeah.
Is
Welcome back.
this on? Is this?
Is it, can you confirm? Are there sound waves? It's looking
We're
good.
good.
Hey man, we hope so. But yeah, man, we had to run it back.
Yeah.
Look, thanks for having me back. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the timing worked out so well as well.
Yeah,
it did.
it did.
Perfect.
Worked out perfectly.
We're doing it, man. But we're here in Melbourne.
What do you think about studio?
It's dope.
Yeah.
As soon as I walked in, I saw like all the culture out there, like the games and everything, and I'm seeing the pops all around as well.
Yeah.
I'm a collector myself, so when I see that shit, I'm like, oh, I love this. I love it so much. I love
We're
it.
trying. A lot of the stuff is just his
Noor.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where he put the
From
stuff.
his house.
I don't know.
You bring it here when you have space at home.
Literally, that was I was like, this either goes for my own crib or the studio.
Yeah.
Man,
It's nice. It
Right,
works
taking
well.
up space, but yeah, we're here now, man. It's been a journey and a half to get here, but it's only right that we send an episode in here.
Yes.
We almost did black backgrounds, didn't we, for this ep?
We almost did, and
Almost
then
wasn't
I think
ready.
yesterday Daniel and I got here and we were like, hey, let's just make sure
Let's
that.
just set it up.
Use the new
Let's
studio.
just set it up, use it, and let's get this ep
I think
done.
because we're also like, we're not gonna release an episode with the new studio, and then the next
back.
one
Is
is
black.
black. You know what I mean? And we were
That
like,
discontinue.
this is a guest that's worth having in the news, you know, and all that. So
What's been going on with you though, man? It's been like what, a month that because I feel like it's been
last
two.
time.
it's 2 months. We were there
Has it
in
been 2
July.
months?
We were there. Oh my days!
Yeah, early like mid-July. So it's a month and a half at least.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Time flies.
Time
so quick. I can't
flies.
even believe it's September already. It's almost end of the year.
Man, it's mad. It
Actually,
is genuinely
almost,
mad.
yep.
I feel like you've been active during in
Yeah,
that space of time.
I've been trying to do the most, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I've been just trying to keep my content, keep it going. I'm trying to travel a little bit more because I like to change it up. I like to just experience new things, you know? And I like I'm trying new things out with my content. Like I'm trying to stray away. Like I love my relatable stuff, like my funny out of pocket relatable stuff. But I'm getting to a stage where I need to kind of make it luxury, like
Yep.
make it a little bit more like high quality. So I'm like, let me just start doing that because I've actually run into some problems with some brands.
Oh.
Interesting.
They've seen some videos I've done,
No way.
and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't really align with our brand."
We didn't even release the episode.
It was funny because my manager told me about that, and the first thing I thought of was the
The episode.
the episode.
You're so
Oh,
lucky.
it worked out. It worked out for you then.
It worked out for me. So,
Way.
no, it was interesting. So I'm just trying to make my content a little bit more
No way.
premium.
Okay. That's cool.
That's mad. That's cool. Because I'm thinking now, like, what? I feel like I've been seeing it lately that brands are embracing the edginess or the
Uniqueness
people
of
being them, the
people.
uniqueness. Like there's a batch that gets angry and wants this to be this way, but there's also, it seems like, a batch of brands that are like, you know what, you do you. As long as you're not outwardly, intentionally offending people, whatever, run the raunchy comment or do the funny, you know what I mean? Like,
So I think it really depends on where the brand sits in terms of accessibility to people, right?
Okay.
The more accessible it is to more people, the more they're like. So, for example, the brands that I can think of that are like whatever, like especially their TikToks, like Duolingo, Ryanair.
Yeah.
They literally take the piss out of the people, right?
Duolingo, very good.
Yeah.
Like, their marketing is so good.
I don't know if you've seen Ryanair's one. Like they'll literally be like,
bro,
yeah,
What's wrong?
like Ryanair's ones, they'll literally just be like, what is it? Like when a client complains about, $10 fee, it's like, well, no one told you to take this flight. Right? Like that's
Damn.
So the more accessible it is to more people, the more they're like, let's just act like we're one of you.
Yeah.
But when it's like a Dior or something like that, they want to act like not everyone can access this. Right? Because
Yeah.
not everyone can.
Yeah.
And so then they're not going to just treat everyone however you would treat everyone,
exactly.
right? So it kind of makes sense. But I can see that now with
Yeah.
in terms of like, okay, if I'm going to, approach influencers, I want them to be premium. I want them to. The only fashion influencer that I can think, because fashion influence, like fashion content isn't necessarily my algorithm. Have you seen I think it's a couple, the ones that do the Pantone colors and they keep clicking?
I know exactly the couple you're
That's
talking
the
about.
one?
Yes.
That's like premium.
They
Whenever I
do
look
it.
at it, I'm like,
that's what I want my
kill it.
vlogs to look like.
Okay.
That sort of look. That's what, like, that couple.
Yeah.
So
I
creative.
didn't see this couple. Yeah.
I'll show you guys.
Like, so like, for example, they'll put like blue and pink or
Oh, yes, I
whatever.
think-
and
yeah, I know who you're
it's like
talking
the
about.
actual
Yeah.
Pantone colors.
I'm on
And
the
then all
wrong
their fits
feed.
will be like a bunch of blue and pink ones.
These are the guys that spin around on a little.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
That is fire.
I'm on the
That
wrong
is
feed,
very
man.
fire.
You need to up your algorithm, bro.
I'm not catching any of that, man.
Yeah.
Mad. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I actually wonder where brands are sitting now, like, with all these kind of things. That, like, what is open, what's free, what can we actually do now?
It's so hard because, like you said, it's like how accessible the brand is to people. I think it's those newer brands. Those newer brands are more, they're more likely to let you just go off and do your own thing. Like sometimes you'll get a brief from a brand and they just want this. You feel like you have no creative control.
Yeah.
But there are some brands that are, like, for example, I remember when I went to Japan, the team at Jean Paul Gaultier, they literally just said, be you, do whatever you like. We're not here to like we don't want to stifle your creativity in any way. Do whatever you like and just have fun.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's what's up.
that's what's up.
it's
That's
at,
it. That's
I
what
mean,
I
you would
like.
assume if a brand is coming to you, that's what they would do. 'Cause
Yeah.
they found you and they chose you based on the videos that you put out there and the content. So why come and try and change?
And be something else.
yeah,
Yeah.
try and change the person.
But even
But-
beyond that, when the brand's got it like that, then they actually don't care what
They
everyone
don't
else
care.
has to say.
100%.
Just like
They're doing them.
you mentioned Ryanair, but like Netflix, I always say it, when the whole thing was going down after Dave Chappelle's stand
yeah.
up, and employees were going to leave, and Netflix was like, leave.
Leave.
I said, yeah.
I remember seeing that.
I
Yeah.
was shook on the confidence, man. You don't see that often, but yeah. You went on a trip in between the last time we saw you there, yeah? Was it not South Korea?
Was that South Korea?
South Korea, yeah?
Had I gone?
I don't think you'd gone yet.
Oh,
you probably
yeah,
went
I
like
went
a couple.
after.
I think you
Yeah,
went like a
after.
couple, maybe a
Yeah.
couple
It's like
days
the
or
day after or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. It must have been.
Yeah, because we were. That was the 9th of July that we shot the episode. I think you went like a couple
After,
days
yeah.
afterwards or something. or
Yeah,
the week, following
I
week or
just
something.
I was just about to go. I remember because I did my hair.
Yeah,
I was looking fresh. Yeah, I remember.
Looking fresh in that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, South. Oh,
Is that out by the way? That content? Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen
the
some of
content,
that content out. Yeah.
South Korea was dope. South Korea, like, it was amazing. I think it was the people who I went with as well, because we went with 3 other creators, and they're all in similar fields to me. So very creative, love to make videos, like very like big personalities as well. So I think that's what made the trip really fun. Just being able to bounce ideas off them and being able to. We'll be walking like near the Gangnam Hands. And I'm just like,
There's a whole statue of just
there's
that.
a whole
seen that?
statue of the
Nah,
guy.
I've seen
Massive
that,
statue.
Massive
No
statue.
way.
So I was just like, oh, I gotta do the dance in front of
Yeah,
him.
actually, I saw that
Yeah,
video.
I started doing the dance, and then Nathan, one of the other creators on the trip, he joins in as well, and I'm just like, this is dope.
Like people that are down for the vibe.
people that are down to
yeah.
not take themselves too seriously and like do those bigger things as well. That's what I appreciate.
You know what I've always wondered whenever like brands are like, yo, we're gonna get these people together and just take them on a trip. Like, do they run this by any of y'all? Like, yo, this is who we're thinking of having, come on the trip as well. Are you cool with this person? Are you cool with this? Like,
To be honest, there's sometimes if I'm going on a trip, I don't know who's there until I get there.
mad.
It's funny.
Couldn't be me, bro.
I was
How
at
dare- how dare they?
I had no idea who was going, but luckily, I knew of one of the girls that were there.
Yeah.
But sorry.
He said hello.
This guy.
This guy's crazy, man.
I was sitting at it was KFC or like a fast food place, just waiting for my flight. And I was sitting, and a guy comes up to me, and I look up. He's like, "Onya," and I look up, and I see his face. It's like, I don't know this guy, but I know this guy.
Yeah.
I've seen his stuff. I've seen his content.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. Are you going to South Korea by any chance?
Nah, get out.
And he goes, yeah, I am. And I'm like, oh, and then that's how we found out that we were going together. And then he's, oh, I'm with a few other people. Do you want to come over and like, sit down? I was like, yeah.
Love
It's
that.
kind of dope though, man.
That's
Like,
so cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
one element of it does bring out just like
It's spontaneous.
the spontaneity of things.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I'm
Love that
thinking.
word.
Like spontaneity. Yeah,
it's
crazy.
so
man.
nice, man.
Fantastic.
Love
We
that
know that
word.
word. Like it just. There's something about it where this is like peak or core human interaction right now. Like it's really like one of those figure it out on your own, like vibes kind of thing. There's not many environments that force you. You're going on to a whole other country that you've never been to before.
you've never been to before.
You know what content like has to be created when you get there, but you don't even know who it's with. Do you have to share like rooming and things like that with some of these people?
Share what, sorry?
Do you share rooms and stuff?
No,
too? So
they all give us all our own rooms. Thank God, like it's all good.
Right.
But we're
that would be
together.
bad.
We're together pretty much the whole day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from the morning, they'll like we have a schedule of what we're doing, obviously. But it's just during the day, it's just go because you have to be experiencing, but also capturing the content at the same time.
Yeah.
But doing it in a way that one doesn't disturb the other. So it's always you have to find that balance. There were a few times on the trip we got a few bit cranky because we couldn't eat and we couldn't think.
Yeah.
But then it's when you are not trying to make content is when the content comes out. So that's cool.
Yeah. Well, okay, there's two directions we can go right now.
Yeah.
The food joint and what? I'll ask my question to get into this traveling space then, maybe.
You know where people are
Okay.
never cranky?
He's doing it.
Which countries where people are never cranky?
Oh gosh.
I ask you me or are you gonna tell me?
I'm gonna tell you. It's where there's good food, right? Because obviously I've been traveling as well. These guys have been traveling.
Yeah.
I came to a realization. I've heard this a little while ago, but like countries with the least rights for women have
mad,
the
this
best
statement.
food.
It's true.
Yeah, countries with the most rights are the best to live in for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro, follow him.
You end up missing out on good food.
So, bro, Andrew Schultz also said this statement on his Flagrant podcast. Yeah, it's an interesting statement that he
Think
said.
about all the
I'm still
countries
thinking
right
about
now
it.
that you're like, yep, these are places where I would live. You cannot tell me what the cuisine is. What is American food? What is Australian food?
dogs.
What is Canadian food? What is German food? What is British food? Right?
Food,
Right.
mashed mushy peas,
That's it.
shepherd's
Okay, wait.
pie.
Why do you guys think that is then?
Huh?
Why
I
do you
don't
guys
know.
think that
Well, he's a comedian, so he's gonna say an outlandish thing of like
What did he
where
say?
there's least rights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say where there's more culture, but it's sad or interesting that culture and where there's
rights
But-
violations of these
Yeah.
rights end up coinciding with each other. It's an interesting analysis there. So he says something very bold in saying that it's the right situation.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's a culture thing at the end of the day.
He also said it was like, because they get feedback harsh about their cooking.
This is
The harsher the feedback is,
the
the more they just
The
go
more they
back in the kitchen and improve it.
bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's an interesting take, bro. It's an interesting take that it's got there, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? But I mean, look, when you have more time to relax, and you have more privilege in this type of place, you're not chefing up your meals,
Bro, what? Just
either a nanny is
Eats.
doing it, and most of the time, where's the nanny from, man? Most times, man, they end up coming from these countries that are not yours, and that's where the munch comes. Bro, it's mad.
That's true.
I'm saying, how do we strike a balance in humanity here of good food and good culture and good what do you call it? Good equality.
I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers, man. But we need to get to that balance.
Is it important to you to find like a wife that can cook well?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you cook?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna look for someone. That's wild. I was about to say I'm not gonna look for. I'm not based off the cooking, but it is a quality I do like to look for in someone. I just feel as much as people love being in relationships, love having someone. I think the actual this might get deep for a second, but I think the actual like love behind like love and commitment.
I like this.
People forget. People forget that aspect of excuse me of relationships.
Okay,
People just sort of want to be together because they have someone, not because they love that person.
That's mad.
Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say on like the marrying someone, like I like the idea that they can cook well. It's not like
Yeah.
it's definitely not like something I would not count someone an option because of it.
Exactly.
But I like the idea of when like I assume all of our moms, it's like like they can just chef it up and like they bring people together through that and all that. Like I can't imagine having a wife that can't chef it up and bring people together.
And you're grasping at the straws trying to sort that out instead.
I imagine you're just trying to justify why the food's bad when you have guests over.
We didn't have enough time.
Every time you have guests over, it's babe, what should we order?
Yes.
That's the other thing. Like fast food and Uber Eats and all of that. That's becoming so big. So I think more and more people are not being able to cook because they're relying on these. So that's why it's always just like, I do like someone who can put something together. Like they can put something together. They don't have to have like 50 million recipes. Absolutely. But they can put something together.
Because I think it also speaks to a level of like IQ, right?
Common sense is not so common.
Like those people that can just be like, oh yeah, this flavor would work together, right? I like that's nice.
That's how I.
Because those people that are like, oh, I don't understand, like what spices.
No, but come on, cooking is a skill though.
It is absolutely.
Like it's something
that
skill
needs to be
that some.
practiced.
I can agree.
But you can do basic pretty well. Anyone should be able to do basic.
What's a basic dish then?
Like I'm talking like even marinate chicken and make some rice with it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I got a question then. This is not a digression. How was the food in South Korea?
Amazing.
Oh God.
Really nice.
The rights are pretty good there, though.
The what?
I mean, I don't know,
The
but
rice.
like the quality of life in South Korea is uppity, right? I don't know. I need to.
Oh,
Look
have the
into
Asians mastered it? Because Japan as well.
It's a good balance.
Have
of,
the Asians done it?
I think they've done it.
It's
man.
just the Arabs and Africans. That
Just lagging behind.
we are bad people.
struggling,
Patriarchal society.
but the food was
The food is really good. Like actual authentic Korean barbecue.
Nope. Okay, sorry, I figured it out.
Oh.
Asian men cook a lot. All the restaurants, it's men cooking.
So what are you saying?
So
Where are you going?
you're not
So
wrong.
it's not the
you're
woman.
wrong.
They haven't found the balance.
Okay, but the
Well,
women are
they're both
chefing it up
new.
too
They're
for sure.
both
They're both
new.
now.
They're both new. They're
Yeah.
both-
Look at everything. Sushi master.
They both
But
new.
then again,
They do this on the rice.
That's Western, bro. That's Western patriarchy, bro. That,
What?
you know what I mean? Like men get a lot more recognition, etc.
Yes.
etc.
But they're not the West.
Yeah,
There's
it's
always a
just
woman
like-
in the kitchen though. You just don't see her.
Cleaning the dishes in
This
Asia.
thing
my
that I
God.
was
It's in
gonna
Asia,
say-
she's cleaning the
Bro,
dishes.
What I was gonna say about you're saying about the love and relationships and things like that. It's interesting what happens very easily. I was telling Noor about this yesterday. Very easily in a relationship where it's like, because Marwa loves to cook. She wants to perfect that. You know, this is what 3 weeks we've been living together now. You know what I mean? It's a different life.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting
that
time.
also happens since the last time we
That
met.
happens since the last time.
that's
The wedding,
it.
Yeah, I was gonna need that.
It's
Wedding happened, yeah. So that happened, yeah, man. Ounce. That's gonna keep happening.
Look at that. Show
But,
them.
yeah, man's got way more, bro. How many wives, bro? You got bearings, bro.
Don't worry about it.
Bro, but like, yeah, Mao loves to cook. So we've been living together for a bit now, and then it's funny how like roles and things. I saw how easily you can like sit into the roles that
The traditional role.
traditional roles that
typical,
we typically talk about, right? So, when I was by myself at the house, so I've been living at the crib for like when did I move in? That was since the start of the year. I moved in April, so Mao hadn't been living with me until We got married, and then now she's there at the house, right? So that's a good, I don't know how many months. I'm just saying 5 months. 4 months, and I was there by myself. So let's say I've eaten whatever when I was by myself. I'll eat, I'll put the dishes in there, and then I'll maybe have to go out. I'll be like, I'll come back home and wash these, yeah? Yesterday was a moment where I was like, there were dishes in there. I was like, oh, I'll come back home. And I'm like, oh, no, damn. I was going to get home before me. And I was like, oh, let me just wash them up.
Yeah.
And because she's she's proactive with cleaning, washing the clothes, hanging out, whatever. It's very easy to start saying, oh, let me help her out by doing this. By doing this thing. But
Rather
it's like,
than-
I'm not helping her out. This is our house.
Exactly.
These are my clothes, our clothes.
Like it's stuff that you should have done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, it's so easy to switch into that thinking
I feel
because, she gets in the groove of doing that. I'll be in the groove of on my own time. It's like, it's very, very easy to be like, oh yeah, you know what? That's just the role she's been doing. That's what she's been up to. And I was like, you actually have to consciously be like, this is our thing that we've got here, man.
Like you guys are a team.
It's a team, man.
Like two individuals that are together.
So I'm running with the cooking one then. Like, it's very easy to also set into just expect that someone has shifted up. By the time you get back, it's crazy.
That's true.
It's so easy to expect because she'll get home before me. She's made something ready. I'm like, I didn't even get the opportunity to cook something.
Boy, you didn't
But I'm not mad. But I'm not mad. I'm not having to cook and there's much. But I'm like, it's so easy to get into those roles and the traditional aspect of things. It's work.
Yeah.
It's mad, fam.
Definitely.
Bro. So
Did you feel like a huge shift going from like living like by yourself to living with
Mara there?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think. Yeah, you have to be very. No, I was the one that moved it. Yeah, hold on.
I didn't.
The shift that you feel is like you have to be like conscious or aware that there's someone else in there with you. Like, you don't. What's the word here, man? Like you don't. For example, like the dishes example again, right? I could have left it there and said I'll come back to it, but the consciousness of being like there's someone else in this house, it's just a respectful thing to pick up, to everybody to pick up what you got to pick up.
Yeah,
Like you actually, I'm not a slob and I wasn't raised like that. Like, yo, can you attest to this? I've been clean when I was at the family house.
It's rolling your eyes.
Yeah, man, she's the dirty one. But like it's the small things that you don't realize where it's like, oh, this can actually be annoying to this person. There's little things that you realize you pick up on people. Like she loves leaving the door open for the walk-in pantry. And I'm like, bro, just like close the door. I'm like, what if a fly gets in there? Like that's where my mind goes immediately.
It's like toilet seat level, like
those kind of things there. But it's like it's honestly little things, and you can allow them to get you angry, or it's a conversation, and then
Speak about it.
that's it. But it's not that tough, man. It's not at the beginning, obviously, but it's not that bad.
That's good.
I've always said that I reckon I'll be the easiest person to like live with, and it's turning out all right. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think so. I think I mean, because it's just two of us, so it's very easy for us to just, and we're also away like most of the time during the day too, so it's not like we're in each other's face. Like he'll be at home working and I'll be out working as well. But I think
the breadwinner, bro.
I think it's always just
working.
conversation. If you don't have those conversations at the start, and also I knew the type of person that he was. If I knew he was a slob before we moved in,
what's going on?
it would have been hard. But I knew that
thought this was slander. I thought we were about to get some slander, bro. I was confused, man.
But it's interesting. It is interesting living with someone else. I'm not gonna lie, because I've never lived alone. I've always lived with my family, and now to live with a partner, like. I don't treat him like my siblings, which I probably will eventually. Like after a while, you're like, you're just like, whatever. But like, do you know what I mean? It's a partner, like treating them in the way that
you're not fighting around each other.
You're not.
Are you guys fighting around each other?
Hey man, all I'm gonna say is someone's tearing up a storm in the house.
That's you, please.
I mean, man.
The one thing I know is like sleeping with somebody else's ass. That has to stop.
Look, I'm a sucker for cuddles. I like cuddles.
Okay, that part.
Wait. What do you mean sleeping with someone else? You
Like
mean
having
like
to share a bed.
Having to share a bed.
having to share a bed?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that's wild. I was like, that's wild, bro. I was like, you really don't like that? Just sharing a bed with someone is you learn their like blanket tendencies. Are they pulling the blanket to them?
Yeah.
Do they like 1 foot out the blanket for
I
control?
love that egg. Oh, that climate control,
Yeah.
man.
My body runs hot.
Yes or no to Dutch ovens? Like,
Yeah, man, bro. I love that leg out, man. You've never had to live, like, ever since moving out or moving to, you never lived with anyone at any point? Or did you?
I lived with, when I moved out to Sydney, I lived with my now ex-girlfriend and my closest friends from uni.
Okay.
Oh, so like a whole like
So it was like
a
community house.
Lived
in the. I first lived at a university accommodation. And it's weird. It's like a college. There are self-contained houses, but each house has like 5 rooms in it.
Okay.
And it's a whole village.
Yeah.
They used to hold. They used to have like Olympic athletes stay there.
Gotcha. So it's near Olympic Village or something.
So I lived there, and then we decided to move out into a share house in the city because we were getting a little bit rowdy for the university accommodation. And sorry, it was coming to the time that a few of us were graduating as well. So we moved out, but I've learned, for example, I like living with people. It was really good living with my friends. One, I learned the mistake of like moving in with a significant other too early.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be alright because I'm with friends.
Yeah.
But
which I would have agreed with in that kind of thinking there. If it was like, I'm gonna move out with them, I would have thought like friends as a buffer. In that situation,
friends as a buffer, exactly.
But no, it wasn't.
It was good until you get to the stage when you're not together anymore.
That's peak.
And you're living in the same
that's
life.
peak. Yeah.
Hold up. Were you guys like sharing one of the rooms, or were you guys in your own rooms?
We were sharing one of the rooms.
That's peak.
Now someone actually has to leave.
Yeah,
Now someone actually has to leave
for sure.
Exactly. And look, I bit the bullet. I left. I had a few friends who I could stay with.
Yeah.
So I stayed with them, and got myself back on track. Got my new place. Got a new job. But yeah, it's living. Since then, I've lived alone. It's such a difference between living with people and living by yourself. Like you said, when you go out and you have dishes, you can either be like, I'm going to wash those dishes so I don't have to wash it later. Or let me wash it later, but then later comes, you're tired, you don't want to do it.
And later becomes tomorrow.
So exactly. So I feel it's those little choices that you make. Like, are you going to like make your bed this morning? Are you going to do like clean that little extra bit so you don't have to do a big clean on the weekend? Yeah. So right now I'm in that mentality of I love living alone.
Love it? Like
I love it. I love it because of what I do as well.
Yeah.
If I'm doing my stuff in the living room, like dancing around, making my
someone's
videos.
trying to watch something.
Someone's trying to watch something in the back, and I'm just like lip syncing videos and things, making YouTube videos. It wouldn't. I feel if I was to move in with someone, it would be someone in the same sort of field.
Yeah, that
someone who understands. Almost like a content house.
Content house, man.
Yeah.
We were saying how like we wish at a point in time maybe we did something like that, but I don't know.
I think it would have gone off if you guys had a content house.
Would have gone off.
Fun, man.
Shows. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
What, trying to move in or what?
I mean, you might have to.
Spare rooms.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you with No, it's gone. Never mind. It's such a good question too.
Right. I was gonna say, even going back to the traveling one a little bit, because this is something we noticed while we were away. We didn't bring it up last week or anything. Have you gone on many just holidays? Like no purpose of work included, but it might still apply. The question I've got.
That's the thing though. Like for example, I would consider this a holiday.
Coming here?
Yeah. To like,
it is though. Yeah.
I would consider like this trip I've taken to Melbourne. I didn't come for work.
Yeah.
Like I didn't come because a brand wants me to do something. I just came to relax and just like create. I just naturally like to create anyway. So coming to doing this podcast.
Yeah.
I remember I came with my boy Kevin. And we walked around the city yesterday, and even just meeting other content creators from Melbourne. I feel
bumping into people
bumping into other content creators in Melbourne, and I feel people are much more open. Like here in Melbourne.
Hey, because we're fiending for it, man. We want the attention. No one's looking our way.
It's so much more open. Like we filmed a few videos with a few other creators, and then we literally went. That's when we went to Lux. It's just, and Kevin was even telling me, it's like the amount of love people have for him here in Melbourne. Different compared to Sydney. And I'm like,
we love you too,
that's
Kevin.
Just how it is.
Come holler, man. we love you at TDE as well. Yeah. Well, this is the question I was going to ask, because we went to Fiji. That's where we went away for like, we're there for like 10 days.
Yeah.
Good time. This holiday was the first time that I've ever felt what I'm about to share. Like, it's the first time I've ever felt this feeling, I was just sitting down, like, it was one of those situations, you get buffet breakfast every day. There's buffet dinner. There's people that come and clean your room every day, typical in hotel settings, whatever. But there's people in this place that also now, like if you come with a family, they'll take the child and look after the child for the whole day, babysit them, like nannies and that. And the parents can have fun, even during meals, like they're feeding the child in the kids area. So people generally come there and just relinquish all responsibility and just have haps and enjoyment and food. I'll actually write this down. Let me write it down so I read it out. So I read it perfectly how I wrote it. This holiday was the first time that I probably...
Please read it for the class.
This was the first time that I experienced what consumerism and capitalism feels like fully to the fullest. Yeah. I was like, this is a place that we come over and enjoy, but these people are here working. Yeah. And I've never felt that on a holiday before. Like I've had people serve and they do their job or whatever on holidays before. But because I genuinely didn't have to think about anything at all on this trip, this is the first time I was like, I felt American. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay,
I felt very American, like in terms of like the more I'm entitled to this privilege.
Yes.
And I was so like, this doesn't feel right. Like a little bit about me was like, it's a bit sad a bit. I was like, damn, bro, how many? But the crazy thing about over there is like people like they encourage that people study in uni for hospitality. Like that's one of the biggest like exports or industries of education there and things like that. But at the same time, I was just like, it actually feels wild that we go to these countries, we go to these places, and like we really are being served by other humans. You know what I'm saying? Like people that are adults, people that have their own families. I'm coming here and you're away from your family, giving me food. Serving. And I was like, damn, I was going to say, have you all ever felt that in any holiday or any kind of trip? Like, and you know, what does that feel like for you? You guys lean into it and enjoy it? Or is it confronting as well?
Well, it is. I've felt that before. I think I felt it a lot when I was in Japan.
Okay. Oh, right.
I remember when I was in Japan and we just had all this stuff just ready for us. Like, they took us to tea ceremonies. They just treated us. And I'm thinking, we must be such a hassle for these people dressing us up in this kimono. We are just, like, we don't understand anything. We don't know the culture. We don't know anything about it. But we are just going there for a trip and to chill. So when you're in these situations, you low-key just say, oh, I feel bad. Like, not feeling bad, but I can't fully enjoy knowing that they're trying to, how do I land this?
Like they're catering to you.
They're catering to you, yeah. Like, I'm not a kid, like, who am I? That's what I
It's an interesting one, because you're right. It's not like a feel bad of like, no, stop. But it's like I don't know, it's just a discomfort a little bit, I felt, kind of thing. Oh, it was mad, man.
Do you think it's because you view them as... It's not even you view them. It's like you just know how much more you have in life than they do. Because
a little bit
basically,
of that.
like what I'm trying to say is like if you went to a resort in
like Cali
Hamilton Island or something,
right? And they're doing all that.
They're doing all this. I don't know because they're still going to serve you excellent, all this kind of stuff and whatnot. Like, do you feel that one?
As bad?
It is what it is, right? I know he's getting paid well. I know
that's a good question.
You don't really care, right?
I think it's because of the element of
because you know
they're
how
paid
cheap
well
their
and they're being
service is.
you know that this job is serving them well. Whereas when we were in Fiji and we found out like these guys are actually making so little, but their love and the effort that they're putting in towards us is so large compared to what they're getting. That's what kind of, I think for me, that's what made me feel like, oh my gosh, like I feel so bad.
Okay.
You guys are going above and beyond, but like you're not getting that in terms of like the pay.
Okay, but based on what they get, like everyone else is getting there, are they not getting that? You know what I mean? Like, as in, are they getting that much less still? Are they like, as in, I don't know how to explain it. Like, is what they're earning there that? Like, I know it's not good in our eyes, but it's like if you live in Fiji, are you like, oh, yeah, it's fair enough income?
Nah, they said it's peak, bro.
They said it's peak.
It wasn't good.
That's what made it even like, you know what I mean? Because normally you be somewhere and they're like, oh, sure, there's difference in currency. So just, but if it's comparable for a good living here, then it's like, oh, it's not as bad. But when they tell you that it's actually still peak like living, I said, damn. All right.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
mad.
Yeah.
Bro, you know, like, I never like, not never, but I struggle giving like tips here
There are
Because
even
when someone be doing bare minimum in a restaurant here in Australia or something, and then you kind of feel compulsed to give a tip or something, but then you realize it's actually just because we've been conditioned to bad service. Just use the bad. Like they haven't done anything crazy. But it looks so different to what you're used to. Like, oh, maybe should we give them a tip or what? And it's like, what? Because they gave me some sauce or something.
Because they brought the water when the water was finished.
You know what I mean? Like, but like over there, like you don't even feel. It's like, bro, like it was like $4 a day or something. They said is the way.
$6 a day.
I remember. I thought I misheard. I thought I heard the guy correctly. He's like, it's like I thought he said $45 an hour.
Damn, so I'm gonna move here.
Construction?
Yeah, for the construction workers. So it's $4 an hour. But he said $4 to $5 an hour.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, oh, that's good as. I was like, oh, 45. And he's like, no, 425. I said, oh. I was like, in that moment, I've exposed myself of what we're getting. Like here.
What's mad is the person earning $5 is earning 25% more than the one earning $4. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Someone's looking at him like, I want that money.
I need that. Bro, it's mad, man.
That $5 an hour is looking nice.
Bro, that is wild. Yeah,
crazy to me, man.
I've never experienced that on a holiday. It's just growing up in the Middle East. It's normal for like families to have nannies and maids and all this kind of stuff, right? My parents were like, we're never gonna have that. They were like, I don't want my kids to be brats. I don't want all that kind of stuff. And they're like, they just didn't like the idea of someone having to live with us when none of us need assistance, right? Mm-hmm. But then seeing a lot of families have that, it's like, yeah. I remember like a lot of my friends or whatever. It's like their life was almost resort-ish in that like they'd just be like playing PlayStation. They're like, whatever. Like I remember one. Like, her name was like Helen. Helen, can I get orange juice? Just like downstairs.
And then they come up and bring.
And I was like, wait, are we not gonna go get it or what?
Yeah.
Like, it was just weird. And I think what like was more surprising than anything is that like fair enough, like the locals in like Qatar, UAE, all this have that, but it's like all the expats that go live there. So like especially like British, American, and for some reason the Lebanese do it a lot as well. It's like where they'll have that, and it's like I think for me when I was like looking at it, I was like here it's so expensive to have a live-in nanny. Like you're literally you would be paying $70K a year minimum if they're living in. That's plus all the expenses you're covering for them, right? Mm-hmm. But there it's like it's so cheap, and I'm like, man, you could never have this back home, but now you have it here all the time. And I was like, it's just a weird thing, because then it's like even to the point of like, oh, take the kids there, take the kids here, whatever. And it's like you are almost living resort all the time. And I think I used to be like, this is uncomfortable knowing how little these people are making as well. It's just so never seen it on holiday, but definitely in real life it's weirder when you're like watching it over 52 weeks as well, you know? Right, it's mad, man. Well, so in South what was it like in South Korea then, man? What was the vibes there? How was that trip? Like, what came out of that? It was
great. Like, that one was with Kentucky, because I think they have a new trip to South Korea.
Okay. Yeah.
So they sent us. We went to a few. They dressed us up in like really traditional, like they call it hanboks.
Regularly?
No. It was like a traditional thing.
Okay.
They dressed us up in that. I remember looking around at the one I was gonna wear, and I found one that looked like. The reason I picked it is that it looked like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. It looked like Scorpion.
Wait,
So I was like, that one looks dope. And she gives me the whole lesson, like these are the ones worn by the warriors, and she gave me like a prop sword to take as well. So I'm like, whenever you give me a sword, my inner child just lights up. When I went to Japan, when they gave me the sword, I was like, thank you, Master. Like, I was like so excited with it. So then we went to a temple, had a lot of food. We also did a lot of dancing, because K-pop, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. Yeah. But they're so good at dancing. I couldn't keep up in the classes. Like, I'm usually good with choreography, but in this class, she was just going at it, and I couldn't.
They love the body rolls.
They love it. They love it.
Hit that smoothly too.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, it was just an overall wholesome trip, and just the people I was with. Like,
that's
friends.
That's cool. Like when like something like Kentucky like plan it for you, because they also plan the activities and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That makes it like a really full experience of the place.
We're also like test the bunnies in a way, because they haven't.
That's not a bad experiment.
Not a bad experiment, man. Like, send me back. They tried new experiences with us. Obviously, there were some things that they had to take out, or they were just trying some things to see how we react to it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, karaoke, fun. Temple, fun. And they were just, maybe some things were, they wanted to have a learning side to the trip as well. So like teaching us about the culture,
That's
obviously.
really cool.
And that's what I really appreciated as well. Our tour guide, she pretty much just knew everything about everything. So I just loved listening to her, especially on the bus, driving everywhere as we walk through temples and things like that. It's really nice.
Bro, traveling, man. I can't emphasize it enough how much people need to
best.
be
I
doing this.
used to never...
I was going to ask if you traveled a bunch before
Well,
this.
I didn't travel much before because I never saw the point of travel. Like...
Wait, what was the mentality to make
Exactly.
you like, there's no point of
My mentality was like, why do you... I think it was because I was small-minded. I was like so comfortable in where I was.
Yeah.
Like comfortable with what I was doing, comfortable with everything around me. I used to never get why people traveled, why people would go to a different country.
I mean, it sounds funny when you just say it. Like,
sounds,
you
and I think
leave.
I was just young. I think I was just young. But the more I travel, like now I've been to China, Japan.
You've been in China as well.
Yeah, I've been to China as well. South Korea. When you realize, I find joy in like learning other cultures, and I think it was around the time I was living at university accommodation, because you have so many exchange students coming in. You have that exposure to like different cultures. So I was like, damn, okay, I want to go and travel and see my friends.
Like, what's happening there?
Yeah, exactly. What's happening over there?
Yeah.
Because this guy's like, this person's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening over there, I want to experience more of that. So it was only around then that I started to say, okay, I could actually get behind travel. And then when I got to the spot of being able to afford travel, being put in situations where I'm able to travel with the brand, gifted a trip. That's when I was like, wow, this is why people travel. Every time I get back, I'm just refreshed.
Yep.
I'm just like, so I hate returning back to real life, but it's like, I feel refreshed afterwards. For the next few weeks, I'm always creatively driven. Like I'm always just like banging out content.
Well, we're trying to ride that high right now of the Fiji time. Still like, honestly, I'm going to ride it as long as... Crazy. Pause. I'm gonna ride the wave as long as possible.
I'm gonna do tricks on it.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
ride the wave as long as possible, because it's just so like it's a different energy there, man. People are really just about do what you got to do in life, be responsible, do what you got to do, but at the same time, don't break your back for it, man. Like don't kill yourself over responsibilities. Like enjoy this life thing as well. But so I'm like, yo, let's carry that out as long as possible.
It's the balance again.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself over like response. And that's why I tell people, like, yes, take life seriously, yes, plan, but also be spontaneous. Also, just don't take yourself so seriously. So that's one of my biggest messages.
Do you speak openly about where you used to work before, like your qualifications and stuff ever?
Oh, not much. I don't. Well, I used to work in a pathology.
Yeah.
I used to work in a pathology lab, and there were overnight shifts. So this was from like 3 o'clock until either 12 or 3 o'clock. 12 a.m.
12 a.m.
Yeah, 12 a.m. So we would be testing COVID. We would be testing like STD samples and things like that. That was from a qualification of biomedical sciences.
You did
biomedical sciences. So pretty much when I picked up TikTok was that morning when I woke up to an hour before I had to leave for work. That was like the period I had to create.
Oh,
And
right.
that was like me trying to, because I found the job really monotonous. Like really, I was just doing the same thing over and over and over again. I was like,
when do you do this? I'm trying to figure out the timings for this.
So
When were you waking up?
crazy. So I would finish work by 3. I'll wake up around 8. And then
PM, yeah?
8.
No, hold on,
8
my head. AM, yeah.
So
You finish work at 3.
Finish work at either 12 or 3.
Yeah.
If it's a busy day, we'll finish at 3.
Yeah.
And then if it's not so busy, I'll finish at 12.
Okay,
Wake up around like 7, 8.
I'm crashing at 2 p.m.
And then
horrible.
I the way I was staying awake is just podcasts, anime. Podcasts and anime. That's what was keeping me up. Like, although it's overnight, it's a bit harder because it's not as busy, and obviously
It's a very
you have to find time
routine job as well.
Yeah, very
And you're
routine job.
locked in, like, I don't know how
You have to
many
be
colleagues you'd have with you kind of thing, but it's very just...
You have to be locked in and you have to be concentrated.
City's dead at that point in time. You're driving to work and it's quiet kind of thing. Or you're leaving work and it's just quiet. Like, yo, that's...
Dark. No cars on the road. Like, it's a little bit weird. Like, I think that kind of messed with my routine for a little bit because you're going to sleep so late. and you're going at a weird time. You're pretty much going to work when everyone else is finishing work. Yeah. So it's like,
Wow.
So that routine was a bit hard to get used to, but then I think that's why I was able to get in such a routine with content.
Yeah.
Because the thing was already there, and I like doing this. I like doing this other job. So it's like, okay.
That's what I'm trying to find out. Like, how do you go from something so analytical, like biomed? I know the pain, man. Don't worry. But how do you go from something so like analytical based, science based? Like, I mean, now I think about it myself. I'm also doing some creative things. But I just want to see where you, because it would be a big personality shift as well, though, wouldn't it? Like in terms of what you're doing,
with,
and who you're interacting with, and then now who you are now. Like if you look at those two versions of yourself. I mean, at the core, we're the same person kind of thing. But in terms of what you're doing, what you're constantly talking about, wouldn't you say that it ends up being two different people?
For example, like if you're working in the lab, you don't talk to people often. So I often, there are some days where I'll go without actually talking to people. And I'm like, do I know how to socially interact anymore? Like, am I getting less funny? I don't know what's going on. But then going into content and being around big personalities all the time, it is not really a personality shift, but bringing out the best parts in yourself. Yeah, because at work, I can't. It's frowned upon to like joke around and talk and do all that sort of stuff. But if I'm out in events, I'm encouraged to do that. So it's just like it's pushing yourself and bringing out the better parts of yourself. But there hasn't really been a personality shift, but I've been able to be more open and more myself in this situation. Whereas you're like a show, like you don't know the person sitting next to you sometimes at work. So
I wonder what the people that used to work with you that probably see you on their break.
It's actually when it started picking. This is around the time I left the job.
Yeah.
When it started to pick up a lot, I was on a show, blind. First Dates. It's like a blind dating show. And I remember thinking,
was it on 7 or something like that?
Is it ABC?
It was.
No, it's not.
It was on 9.
First Dates. I feel like I remember.
Yeah. It'll be somewhere on my thing.
Sure, you better
want to go plug yourself. But I went on that show, and I was like, no one's gonna watch this, and I didn't realize how many people were actually going to watch it. Because when the episode was showing, I was getting messages, I was getting Snapchats. Is this you? Is this you? Even at work, my one of the girls in the reception. She's like, oh, my 4-year-old daughter, like she loves your TikToks. And I'm like,
she's not meant to.
Yeah.
That's not my target audience.
It's not my target audience, but I mean,
popping flies.
And then
you will never forget it. Right?
You know when I was talking about videos that I have, and brands look down on it.
Yeah,
that was one of them.
I know.
It was that one, and it was.
You said there's a second one.
There's 3. There's 3. Sorry, there's 4.
Wow.
Doesn't end.
So the fly one.
Yeah.
The I remember there was one like my cock.
Oh yeah. Where's my cock?
Yeah, that one. That's the second one. The third one was the recording of Bruce when he was streaming. It's like this is me quoting it. If I need to shut the that one.
Yeah.
I was voicing it over like when your friend has no filter in public.
Yeah.
And the last one was the when she likes it dirty.
So you have to delete these?
That's the thing. I don't want to be that creator that deletes stuff that people don't like. I obviously put that up there
at a point in time for a reason,
because I liked it, I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna keep it up there.
It's also crazy because like that stuff, honestly, like those 4 probably have been the most viral ones.
Yeah.
So it's like if those are bringing you the people, it's like that's tough.
The crazy part is the execs or whatever's in the meetings have keyed to it. They contributed to 50,000 of the shares.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's an interesting balance.
It's hard. Like there's some content I try not to take down content as much as possible. If at the most I will private it. Yeah. But there have been situations where I've run into, for example, if I have exclusivity with the brand. Yeah. Like I remember I had exclusivity with KFC one time and I posted some McDonald's content.
Oh. Yeah.
And then my manager messaged me straight away, you have to take that down. Yeah. You have to take that down right now.
That makes sense.
Like, what do you mean?
That
what do you mean?
Hit you with the lock-in
contract. There's exclusivity. You have exclusivity for another month. I'm like, delete. I gotta delete this. I don't want. It was a good contract. Also, I'm gonna honor it.
Hey, with that, you're out with the friends. You go to Macca's. You're eating a what do they have at Macca's again? Big Mac. Someone takes a photo of you on their IG or whatever story. Oh, I'm here with Onyedika. Can KFC come? Can they come for you for that? That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's so
Even
mad.
when I went to Japan,
Yeah.
I had a contract with Samsung,
Yeah.
and
Hey, you need to.
I couldn't bring.
You passed them my way, bro.
Hook you up. And then I couldn't bring my phone because I have an iPhone.
You know what's crazy?
I have an iPhone. I have like Sony headphones and buds. They had to send me
Everything,
Samsung
yeah.
buds.
Hey, that's
That's
a win.
yeah.
That's a win.
Replace it.
Flip phone, the Galaxy. I'm like, damn, all right.
Bro, not gonna
That's
lie. I
crazy.
thought you were ambassador with that. I thought you.
I'm loosely an ambassador with it because I had to work into my contract because I love my iPhone.
Yeah.
So I'm
He's
sorry.
an
really thought I won.
iPhone
sorry,
at the
Samsung.
I thought I won someone over, bro. I was like, yo, we got.
No,
I thought I was like, the gang is growing.
Trust me.
The camera's crazy, right? Yeah.
The camera's crazy.
Camera's
I'll admit that.
crazy.
You know what's even
Camera's
crazy?
crazy.
What?
That a company would pay you and you still say, I'd really prefer
Nah,
this
shut
one."
up.
Hold on. I will say there were times when I did have my Samsung. I was reaching for my Samsung more.
They
than
look
my
after you though as
They
well.
look after us. Like the camera is amazing. I like to edit my stuff, so I like to
customize the whole.
the CapCut on Samsung with the stylus.
Come on,
It's
man.
next level.
know what I'm saying?
It's next level.
I see that.
Yeah. But just for social media, Apple.
It
is
looks
always
cleaner.
better. It
Nah,
looks
they've
clean.
monopoly.
Yeah.
You know, I've deeped it, and this is what it is. Apple has one iOS. Android has 1 billion. It's so much easier for an Instagram and Snapchat to cater to one
That's what it-
iOS.
that's what it
That's
is.
literally what
That's
it came
what it
down
is,
to.
yeah.
But I'm like, yo, just look after Samsung. And like Instagram and Snap, like you look after Samsung's Android system. Don't worry about this Google Pixel and them kind of guys
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Just make sure ours is just on the same pattern as Apple. But now we're better. We're getting better now.
If they fix the
Emojis?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
they
never
help.
have them.
Imagine.
This should look straight out of a mango. bro.
Hey, Samsung, man.
They just look a little bit off.
There's something about it.
Like
It
that,
Ill.
that younger cousin that you're forced to go out with.
Yeah.
You have to go out. It's like
Give him a controller.
Yeah.
I can own up to it. I can say it as well. The emojis don't bang, man.
if they fix the emojis and they fix the connectivity with social media,
Yeah.
Apple will be in trouble.
Apple might be.
Apple will be in trouble because I'm
Couple
switching
years.
straight away.
Samsung has good features.
Couple
does.
years.
Because you guys are at a better price point as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple years, man. Don't worry about it. Hey, just don't say I didn't tell you, bro.
Okay.
A couple of years. Yeah, if they fix that, I'm jumping ship.
Say no
I'm saying
more.
it first here. I'm pulling it.
Come on. I was gonna run it back to the when you're about to leave work part because I found you said something that kind of reminded me of like a funny sitch. Do you guys ever feel that when you're about to leave somewhere for what you see is better and what other people can like objectively see as a better opportunity, is there a weird like tension within the office or like
As in when I'm leaving.
when you're like you've gotten a
you're about
new
to
job or you're about to change roles or you've
Basically, they know you're playing.
the saltiness from the other people because
Yeah.
you're like
because you're playing chess, they're still on checkers.
They know you got the Barcelona contract. You're
There
the
you go.
Barcelona, man.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? They've got to like. Have you guys ever felt that?
I've never really felt tension in a workplace or when I've been promoted to something higher.
There wasn't that even leaving from pathology to going into content creation, like social, like no offhanded comments. How's your little going? How's your, you know what I mean?
I mean, not from work colleagues,
Right,
but from
okay.
like close friends. Like close friends, you have that banter. Like I always have a friend now that always says like, "You left being a doctor, you're working in a hospital to shake your ass on TikTok," and I'm like, "You're
you
right,"
got me.
but I'm making the same amount.
Yeah,
So it's like okay, like we have that banter, but I haven't really had any like people making offhanded comments. Just me. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. That's like when people minimalize.
What you're about to, what you're up to?
What
It's
right?
always
What
the
you do.
little when they had
Yeah.
the how's your little
Podcast.
podcast. How's your little,
Yeah, and it's like almost like a like they're trying to little bro you almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just doing my thing. Like
I have a studio.
Tell them.
we are up to podcast 211.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Someone
So like
believes
that's a big thing.
100%.
A lot of work goes into like your sound,
Yeah,
Visuals.
Yeah. Oh, man.
finding guests every week and all of that. And I hate it. Like I'm not really a fan of it when people minimize that. Or
Yeah.
I take it as an opportunity to educate as well though. I try not to take it at this person's insulting me, but if they are obviously insulting me, that's when
Outright,
that's
you
when
try
that's
to.
when I like I'll say something cheeky. But if they actually just don't know what you get up to, I find that a chance to just educate and just
that's fine.
like give them a bit of an insight as to what we actually do.
Yeah, that's facts, man. I don't know. I feel like when I left my last full-time role to come to this one, or like this role rather that I'm in now, I could sense what do you call it? Or even one of my part-time jobs I was at. Sorry, and it's funny because you have to get the reference from these people as well.
Yeah,
but you can tell that in their heart,
little
they're
bit
just
tense.
like, they're like, hey man, like.
You don't really deserve this.
Don't really need to. No, not deserve. They know that. They know who you are.
Yeah.
They know that they're losing someone. You know what I'm saying? And they, there's that saltiness of like, oh wow, you're really leaving my house.
We were investing in it.
Yeah, we were investing.
So you're
in
biting the hand that feeds you. That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
It's just such a funny, awkward thing. That whole that space there, man. When you're about to dip from somewhere, and then yeah, man, I'm like,
No, yours is bad though. Your part-time job. This guy let his company invest in him, put all their resources into him, gave him his licenses for so many different things, just for him to get up and leave. just for him knowing damn well he was about to leave. Oh my days. So I can see why they were salty.
You're a bad person.
Really.
Horrible.
I've realized, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm saying it like I haven't said on this podcast before. I can't work, man. I just can't. I can't do it.
I think.
It's not for you.
Are you talking like typical 9 to 5 or? When you say you can't work,
Like,
I just don't think you want to be an employee anymore.
is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, you don't want to work for someone.
Is that what it is? Because
I think
I'm
that's
like,
what
I
it
also don't want to be like. It sounds so arrogant at the same time, though. You know what I mean? Because like, there's that weird tension in society. I think between like we haven't fully accepted people being able to full time. Like it's still like, oh, you do this full time. It's like, yeah, man, people have been doing this, content creation full time for like years now, kind of thing. So there's that weird tension in there. Like I don't want to be the one saying, oh yeah, no, I don't want to be an employee because it sounds, it still has a certain kind of sound to it when you're saying that. Like,
I know what you're saying.
Who told you that? That you can do your own thing. Like, what makes you better that you can like try to do your own thing, whatever. But I was like, yeah, this is my. I keep saying, I'm like, this. I'm trying to make this my last year of grinding, man. Like, bro, this is the last year I want to see us trying to have to grind in the pod. Like, I want to see more fruits in the pod. More fruits in community work and things like that. More fruits in, let's say, like even like church groups and things like that. Anything that my hands involved in, I keep telling God, I'm like, yo, we're trying to. It's time to enjoy. You know what I mean?
I think a concept I always think about it. I feel that the universe and like God will give you things and will test you to see if you're ready.
When you're ready in that.
So are you ready for this? Are you ready to take that more responsibility? Sometimes you fall and you fall back, but then that opportunity comes back again. And are you ready for it again to like go that next level? So I think God might be like giving you like little things to say, maybe you are ready for that next level. But it comes so subtly, like it's so hard to tell.
Yeah.
I need it very overtly. I feel that though, man.
You're
Like,
ready. You will say you're ready. Yeah.
There is a certain level of development, and even like what's the word here, man? Like sustainability that is required. Like you can't jump into these things. We're really literally we've started to have our own family kind of thing. Imagine. Next year, I'm just like, hey, look, I'm not trying to do this work stuff anymore. I bet. What's the plan?
Yeah,
like
how you gonna make
what's in place right now that is gonna still allow us to continue, kind of thing, So it's mad, man. Well, you guys are. Oh no, you guys are business owners, man.
Yeah, that's what we were having this conversation yesterday. Like, for me, like I genuinely do not get bored of my career. Like I love what I do for a living. Right, like it's fun to me. I think I know in the next. I'm all right being an employee for another year or two. I know after that.
That's all I got in me. That's all I got.
Yeah, after 29, 30, I know I only want to work for myself. It's like I'm still down to be in the same line of work. Like it's fun to me. So it's obviously there's the ideal part of me, or like not even. I don't even want to say it's unrealistic at all. It's very realistic, but it's like. Yeah, ideal scenario is like, okay, this is all I do.
Just chopping it up, talking nonsense.
To make money. You know what I mean? Like, creative things, podcasts, this, that, whatever. But if it doesn't happen, I'm happy to keep working what I'm doing. Like, that's cool to me. Yeah.
That's sort of what I'm I'm in the mindset now because obviously I do content full time and I have my fingers in a few different things. But I want to have like a intellectual property that's mine, like something that I've built. And I'm kind of trying to use this time to build something that's like that's there. So even if it's not me going out and making the content, there's a infrastructure and there's something behind. There's something there that can run on its own, or that I can consult. That's what I'm trying to build towards to now, because I know how excuse me, I know how fickle like social media can be, and it's obviously if like right now like month to month it's always different. Like sometimes it'll be busy months. I'll be taking 2 trips a month. Sometimes I'll be stuck in the house all day. Like content isn't coming in, so it's like hard to find something that's consistent and stable. And that's what I'm trying to do right now.
That was actually the question I was going to ask before. Obviously, you live by yourself, content, which means you work from home pretty much all the time. Do you find then like you spend a lot of time at home?
Yeah, I spend
heaps of time.
A lot of time at home.
How's that?
It can get like a little bit lonely. But I do find things to like distract myself. If I'm not making content, I'll be gaming, I'll be watching anime. You find ways to like make it. You have to find ways to make yourself do things, or else you get into a mindset of you're not talking to anyone. You're kind of just isolating yourself from everyone. I'm trying not to do that. So the best example, actually, I had a friend come up from Melbourne, and there was this New Balance post. Can I say this? Yeah, I can. This New Balance post I had to put out. And I've been going back and forth with them that the pictures hadn't been working. And this was the third time I was shooting for them. So in my head, I was already procrastinating. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go out and take these photos again for them just not to like it again. So I ended up making just a day with my friend. We were just like, let's go get sandwiches. Let's go to the art museum. Let's sit in the park. And she helped me take the photos. And these photos were dope.
Right.
And I was like, imagine having fun, going outside, exercising, getting work done. That's the balance. That's the balance I try to look for. But of course, you can't always have that, because you do have friends that are working throughout the day while you're by yourself. True. So
it's true. If they're not in the same space as well, for sure. Like, there's no real opportunities for those overlaps and things like that to actually happen.
So like whenever I can find time to step out of the house, I will. Like I find excuses. If I'm in a dope fit, I'm like, let me just walk to town hall and back.
Everybody
so
goes
people
see
see
this.
me.
Would you ever start a fashion line then? Because I don't know if people have noticed, but you like to dress up. And you like to dress nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am thinking I'm heavily into it, because after I came back from South Korea, that's when I was like, I have to do this fashion thing. I have to do it. I've literally I picked out the name. I won't say the name yet because it might change. Picked out the name. I've been picking brains of other like local people who have run fashion brands. I want it to be above I'll do hoodies and stuff, but I also want to do like nice pieces that you can wear out. Like you'll see this. I want this stuff to be seen in like your Culture Kings, like your Good Collectors, like that sort of place. That's where I want these clothes to end up. But I've got the concepts. I've actually started designing a few pieces. I've started designing episode 1. So like the pieces coming in episode 1. Yep.
Hey,
very cool.
And with your anime influence.
When you see the name and what the kind of clothes are and everything, you'll understand like the episode and the seasons.
That's cool. I was like, you said episode 1. What is this YouTube? I'm like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I like that. That's cool.
Bro, where do you get this creativity from there? How do you continue to like, what do you call it, man? How do you continue to foster it, you know? Because I edit videos, whatever, but I'm like, there's something different in terms of the story that you tell through your videos. Like, you're able to, like, you have a vision in mind.
Yeah.
I think I say this all the time. Like, there's the difference I say between myself and people that do this, you know, make videos regularly and as work is they can have a vision of what they want to see. Whereas me, I work with footage and put something together. But someone like yourself, you have a vision before you've even shot.
Literally, pretty much every single video I make, I know how it's going to look like before I even start making it.
Yeah.
So even I was with Kevin and we were just filming something. He's been doing this you know when people in school, when people ask someone to take a photo and they just do the they just do the pose.
It gets torn.
Exactly. So we did a skit on that. I was like, I see him in the city. Even though it's just something funny, I already knew how I wanted it to look and the music I was going to use. So all we had to do was just get the shots and then I can just put it together in 5 minutes. So where the creativity comes from, I've just always been an internet kid. So I've had a lot of exposure to different types of creativity. So I'm like, oh, I like how they did that. I might incorporate that into mine. So it's almost chameleon in a sense. Like you kind of get inspired from a lot of different things, but you also have to practice it. Yeah. Like I feel my creativity going down if I haven't made a video. Yeah. And like I can feel myself I can feel myself. I'm just not as creative. But then when I actually start getting back into making the video, I'm like, this is why I like doing it. This is, I can do this. And sometimes when I come back from that like rusty period, I'll watch a video and I'll be like, actually, let me do it like this. And then do it the second time, it'll be so much better. So you do need to actually kind of practice your creativity, I feel.
That's kind of dope about the internet kid thing. Like, there's so many people in our generation that we've all grown up with this whole new wave of internet thing together. But there's a difference in terms of how people have interacted with that. Like, I don't know, I feel like, how much did you reckon you plugged into like internet and like internet culture, what's going on, or like yourself? Because I feel like even me and you, maybe we did a lot more of, I feel like we didn't live on the internet or like tap in as much as we could have to know. Especially back, a little bit. Like I don't know.
I'm talking like MySpace days, like that.
Starting from like even there.
Like MySpace
Bebo,
days.
Habbo even. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Those kind of days, like.
Was it? You guys know about Ask Jeeves?
I remember this.
Before us.
Was it like a red?
It was like, that was ask.com, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Ask Jeeves was another one where you could
remember this.
Ask Jeeves, where you put the dot and then you type the answer and then you type the question. Yeah,
I remember something like that. But did you guys tap into like internet?
I was majorly like Ask Jeeves. Like I was always pranking my friends because no one knew how it worked, and I was just curious about that. I was just curious about that sort of stuff. Even like Habbo would tell like what was it? Penguin.
Club Penguin?
Club Penguin.
Yeah. Do you remember Neopets?
I remember,
Yes.
Do you remember? Yeah. Nah, don't tell me you don't know Neopets.
Neopets.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff, and coupling that with I played a lot of like World of Warcraft. Played a lot of
that's the next level up.
I never got into
the Maple Story.
Bro, I played Maple Story. I played Maple Story as a kid.
Like that, man.
That's what I spent so many hours like him. But I think it's that because you're so immersed in like internet culture and meme culture as well, because memes were really big around then. I was watching a lot of YouTube as well. Like KSI. I never watched Logan. I only started liking Logan until
as an adult. Yeah.
As an adult.
Yeah, me too.
Even Jake. Jake is I kind of like Jake more as an adult. But KSI I've been watching, like we're the same age. And I've been watching him since he started.
So wild. Yeah, I remember
the growth is crazy.
Growth is crazy.
Disgusting glasses.
Like he's the one. Like he's him in the UK.
In
terms of like internet, bro. And I think that's what I like. Try to emulate. Like I want something. That's why I'm like fascinated. Like beta. I'm always watching beta school. Even though I'm a creator, I also consume a lot. Like I'm always like, even on the way here, just plug in the headphones.
Tapped in
to some beta stuff.
Samsung buds. Bro.
Yeah, but
KSI is so interesting because like I think that's the one YouTuber, him and Logan Paul to be honest, but definitely both of them, where it's like there's a lot of other ones where I'm like, oh, you're the top creator, right? Like Beta Squad, I'm like, you're top creators, all this kind of stuff. Them, I'm like, you guys have actually just transitioned to moguls at this point.
Like they've lived
media
on the internet.
Moguls. Like it's beyond even the length of history that's there and everything, but it's like every like what is it? The 4 biggest football leagues in Europe, the 4 biggest clubs in those leagues are all sponsored by Prime now.
Exactly.
Like it's the official partner drink.
Exactly.
I'm like that's
UFC as well.
Like, literally the level of Diddy going from Bad Boy Records to Ciroc. Right? And it's like now that's where the wealth really kicks in.
But how wild is it that like
this is off of I'm gonna do question and answer with my dad.
I'm gonna play scary game with my dad and scream. Like how do you get from that to having your drink? By the way, hasn't been out for that long. Already doing numbers from numbers better than Gatorade. Yeah. That's crazy to me.
You look at people.
I don't know how.
It's
like just KSI and Logan.
It's just the names
attached.
But think about it,
marketing as well.
Yeah.
Like if they only sold to their loyal fan base,
that's still
it's
so
more
many
numbers
people.
than like KSI across all his channels. I think it's something like 80 million subs. That's a big country. That's one of the biggest countries in the world.
Bigger than this,
right?
It's 3 times
So you got the US version in Logan Paul, you got the UK version That's the entire English-speaking market.
Wow.
That's true. That's true.
It actually makes sense that they're
Like, there's not many
outselling all
people
these
that
guys.
don't know who those two are.
Literally.
If you're in this industry, you kind of know. You have
You're under the age of 35.
maybe don't
you
watch,
know.
maybe don't
Yeah,
watch
you know.
you don't watch all their videos, but you know who they
You know,
are. Yeah.
The Erling Haaland thing spun me. Is like he's
That was
also
so
new
bad.
into the league and that, but it's like now they've signed him, kind of thing. Like they're new, he's new.
Oh, wait,
but
he signed as a prime guy?
He signed to Erling Haaland.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
Oh,
he signed. It came out. I mean, he spoke about it on the last podcast.
I didn't watch the podcast. It was
Yeah,
unbearable.
but he spoke about it on the. But there was he signed to them. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people. Them, but yeah,
That's
like,
crazy.
how do you become a new energy drink? Jump into a space where there's already been energy drinks and drinks in general sponsoring, and now you're signing one of the top in that. Like how?
That's wild.
those boys are very smart as well. Those guys are very smart. Like even I watch a lot of Logan more than KSI, but Logan is very good. He's a very good marketer.
Yes.
He
pushes
Yeah,
the drink more than...
He's a very good marketer. Although some of the things I'll watch a video and be like, wow, that hooked me. When I'm watching stuff, I'm like, I try to pay attention to what I like, so I can implement it in my own stuff. If a video starts like no sound and you have like a certain title, I'm like, damn, that looks aesthetic.
Let me try something.
Let me try that. But he's very good at marketing.
The stuff they did at Woolies when they were here was
They
crazy.
shut it down.
That was
They shut
crazy.
down the one in Sydney,
Yeah.
like right outside my house.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I can't do my shopping.
Roast chicken. Roast chicken and prime.
But I'm trying to be sponsored by Prime. So Prime, if you see this,
Looks like a sis.
I'm open to be sponsored.
Yes, sir.
And if you're willing
Why
to
not?
sponsor him, like something small for the boys, come our way too.
I'm pretty sure your logo is every Prime flavor.
Every prime flavor.
Hey,
we
that was on
did that
purpose.
on purpose.
Definitely on purpose.
We have a fridge in our studio. We can fill it with prime.
We can fill it up, man.
That is wild.
It is just crazy to see like people that have existed on a space or a medium like that have grown up themselves on it and have captured the audiences as well too. Like so they've got us and our age and probably people slightly older than them that were tuning in at those early years. But then now they've got this younger generation as well tapping into them. So it's like they are the goats or the great for a pretty wide range of like demographic.
Like a big
kind of thing,
demographic,
you know what I mean? Like we can genuinely probably say from like 10 to 35 is a demographic that they can capture the attention of.
And I like, especially like with Logan's side as well. Like he's got Mike on his team and stuff. Mike's obviously gone through a lot in his life, so he does capture that older. I even just like watching Mike on his own.
His own thing.
Because
Yeah,
he's a little bit older, has a little bit more wisdom.
sometimes
When he's not with porn stars.
bit loony. Yeah, man.
But he's a little bit older, gives a little bit more of a more mature humor, which I really appreciate. And he kind of levels Logan out as well. Like, it's cool seeing content creators and different creators when they elevate their content and you visibly see their content getting better. It gives me the most joy. It's just, I get it. Like, let's go.
Mad. That kind of leads me into thinking about this whole greatness thing because I saw a what do you call it, like a reel of Steph Curry's camp. He has like a like a summer camp that he does. What is it actually called? I think it's called. He's got the Curry brand, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they have Curry camp. It doesn't sound like.
So it's not cooking.
It's not chefing.
I mean, he's
Other
chefing
places.
it.
No one's chefing it up. No bloody banjo has been thrown around. It's actually basketball. Right? So like, I was watching that and I was just like, he's literally one of the greatest basketball players that we're witnessing in our gen.
Changed the game.
He changed the game. And I was just like, yo, he's one of the greatest right now. He is, and he's playing. We're actively seeing him do that right now. But there's going to come a time when he stops playing, obviously, right? Yep. And then I was just thinking, like, who else in our like generation or in like their generation are also greats, right? And we're witnessing all of this now too, like seeing it. But then I'm like, where does it transition into next? Like, who are we creating?
Like, who's next?
Who's next? Who's next for us?
Well, that's,
you know what I mean? Who's next out of us, rather?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in different industries, obviously now, like you'd have your KSIs and that were the YouTube. Who's captured the audience now? You know, who's the greats of YouTube?
yes.
Great shout.
Bro,
Great shout.
That's a very good
Numbers they
shout.
did on that video with Ray.
Bro, that short film.
Oh, the short film.
guy-
Yeah.
Crazy.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Snippets of that one. Insane.
really
The guy's
funny.
insane.
Yeah.
That's a good shout
Bro, I
for
don't know
like.
if you guys saw. I think it was yesterday. He was streaming or the day before, and someone's like, "Watch the Doja Cat video,
Guys,
the,
I know
new
I saw
music, the
that.
Demons music video."
Yeah.
He plays 1 second. She's like, "Something demons." He just turns it off, starts putting worship music. Starts praising.
Kai is a very good example of the new gen.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Very
He's
good.
just even in that short film, I kind of got Kevin Hart vibes.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
like
Kevin
Yeah,
Hart,
for
Chris
sure.
Tucker, I could get that.
like the
from
mix,
that. Yeah,
the mix of the two.
yeah.
I was like, that's like he's actually good at
Doing
this.
it well, yeah.
He
Great.
can act.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be cringy. Like
Yeah.
when YouTubers do movies, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys can't
doesn't-
act. You
yeah.
make videos. But then him in this, I was very impressed.
Did well.
I was
Someone
like,
signed him.
yes.
How crazy is it to think that he met that friend in, I think was it
in
Japan?
Japan,
When he-
yeah.
when he was
man,
there,
have you-
Over.
brought him over.
No,
They've shot a film,
Yeah.
This
and
They
this
made
is in
it
the
in
span.
3 days.
it's the
They made it in
foresight.
3 days.
That's
Exactly.
mad.
It's
It's
the
the
foresight.
foresight to go. This is such like this is better than if I got. I know this. Let's get Drake. Me and Drake. Let's do something.
And then the
that,
Lil
bro.
Yachty, what do you call it,
cut,
cameo in
yeah.
there as well.
Yeah, with the newspaper.
Like, that's a very good example of like, okay, a next generation within like a YouTube
Yeah.
space for sure.
It's okay. So that I was gonna say this before. Where it's funny you brought up Steph Curry because I was like before this because you were saying KSI is like 10-year-olds to 35-year-olds are fans of you, right? Or even like 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds, whatever.
Yeah.
Prior to this, I think the only people that have had such a span of fan base is athletes.
Athletes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's only ever been athletes. I'm sure in the 60s there must have been somebody that people were like, oh, okay, my dad loves him and so do I. You know what I mean? Even
MJ?
musicians wasn't really like that
Probably
for the most
only
part.
MJ.
Maybe MJ, right? But it's like I doubt there was many mums and daughters that liked Madonna. You know what I mean?
More so like
It
the
would have been
mums kind of, yeah.
or just the daughters or whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
it just
totally.
like it's just I can't. This is the first outsider athletes that I'm like, there's
something's
It's
brewing.
because
serious grown ups
Yeah.
on 6 figures a year and 10-year-olds that both like you.
Yeah.
It's just the growth of social media. Like,
Yeah,
people have been able to show more of their life.
yeah.
And in those days, we weren't able to see like Madonna's not vlogging.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like that's why she doesn't have fans like that. You listen to her music, you see her concerts, and in those times, certain people were able to see the concerts. That's the media that that's how we connect with them as fans. Whereas now you have singers, actors, athletes. They have social media, so you get that little peer into their life.
That's big.
Little,
Facts.
like,
Yeah.
more of a
The
peer
barriers
into
of
their life.
access
Yeah.
are much less now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
also the status of celebrity is much bigger now, right? So
Like what it affords them.
like for example, like I was thinking about it, like as a child, the biggest celebrity in my life was Ronaldinho. And it's like whenever I look at his socials now, I'm like, almost no one follows you. Like there's literally Instagram models with more followers than you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense in my head, but I'm like,
Maybe that just doesn't
nowadays,
limit to 'em.
players that are not even a quarter of the quality of Ronaldinho have
numbers.
30 million followers, whatever. And I'm like, you can actually never stop being famous at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a lot of artists, a lot of like athletes. They're working there. They obviously have to sell. I use boxes as an example. You have your press conferences. You have beef, so you can sell the fight.
Yeah.
Athletes, they have personalities. They become their
Yeah.
personalities.
Yeah.
So they sell their either their games or just their social media presence. So approaching sponsorships and stuff like that. So even best example, Sugar Sean,
Yeah.
the US the pink UFC,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
recent title,
Yeah.
and he's always been a social media personality. Like he's been a good fighter. He's always been a star.
Yeah.
So when he won his title, it's just like, it was just only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And the UFC is already jumping on that because they've done stuff like post the fight on YouTube. So I think they're gonna go down that route of really pushing
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
and using him like Sugar
As a face.
as like a face.
Yeah.
He's like the who's next in the
Yeah.
UFC. I feel.
It's mad. Because that's the question I'm asking myself. Yeah, who is next? Like in a lot of these spaces, you know, like what are people up to? And I mean, we're generally a part of the generation that is being watched. I'd say, you know, what I mean, like that's where these who's next people are coming from, like our age category is where these people are like, you know what I mean?
I think there are people growing even locally, like here in Melbourne. I know of
Definitely.
even when I talk to some people, I'm like, you're gonna do something. I can just tell. Who's next? maybe they're not around.
Oh yeah. I was definitely thinking that it almost looks like there's a lot of the wrong people sometimes also being promoted too. Like there's a lot of eyes on some of the wrong role models for the younger generation. Or next one,
Like sometimes bad.
Bro, like these people are capturing the heart and attention of young people quick.
Because they're doing it.
And it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of
they're
crazy.
using the right formula. That's what
Exactly.
it is.
They know how to
using the right
abuse the
formula,
formula. Yeah.
But that's the thing that we're talking about, the barrier of access now, like being less. There's formulas now that you can definitely implement. So like people can easily jump on that. If you have enough time and enough, I guess, willingness to maybe put yourself in some of these situations, you can do what
That's
you know
what-
what I mean. You can do what is required to like.
That's what I
elevate.
tell people. It's literally, you don't have to have the perfect camera. You don't just pick up your phone and just start
Do
creating.
something,
Like
yeah.
you'll get. I look back at my skits and my, my more cinematic videos. I say I've done so much. Like you don't see it while you're doing it, but if you go back and see it earlier work, you're like, I've improved a lot.
Wow.
So you just have to keep on going.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just trying to be part of that as well, low-key. I'm not
For
gonna-
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm trying to be a part of that with the people them and making this stuff grow. Yeah. What's that timeline for when you're that kind of like next step for you kind of thing though? You know,
Because there were a few things, like for example, I want to get my YouTube locked down. I want to get my streaming locked down again. Because like I was saying, during the day I get really bored.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've started doing, I try not to do it too much, but I've been gaming a lot. And I had a thought recently. I was like, why don't I make this productive? I'm trying to build my Twitch profile. So maybe stream for like 3 hours in the morning, like around 10 o'clock, after waking up, done going to the gym, done all my like daily activities. Stream for like 3 hours, finish around 1, chill, and then start posting. Usually I start posting around 6, say like 6. Like by then all my content is done. I'm out of my content brain.
Yeah.
And I'm either like I'll cook dinner, I'll sit down, watch my shows. If the boys hop back on for some games, I'll hop back on with them. So, that's usually how it goes. But it's like,
That streaming is not easy. Like it looks so
not-
lazy. It's like,
it's
I'm just
not
sitting in my
easy.
room on computer. It's such an art. Like just being able to constantly talk and be entertaining
people.
and all this kind of stuff for like hours. And some of these guys go for like 8-hour streams, all this kind of stuff. It's like, what the heck? Like, I hate him or love him. There's a lot of people that don't like him. It's like academics. I'm like, he's very entertaining when he streams.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking like the Drake listening party where we got drunk and screaming and everything.
Did he pass out?
Is this
Did he sleep?
There was also the sicko mode one where the Drake one's where he slept. The sicko mode, and then he hears Drake start screaming. Yes, like you're just entertaining. Like,
it's hard. Like, and that's another thing that Kai does really well.
yeah.
He can stream for such a long period of time, and his fans are so loyal. He's just entertaining.
It's funny.
He knows how to talk to his chat. Knows what he's chatting. He knows. I something I know streamers do. They know how to like trigger their chat to make them react to something. He knows how to trigger. He knows how to trigger them in the right way. That's not negative.
Yes.
To get them to engage.
Yeah.
It would be fun having a community like that.
Oh,
when you think
man.
about it, low-key.
81,000
Imagine-
people paying him $5 a month.
Is that what
Well,
that is?
imagine
For
9,000 people showing up for his PS5 giveaway in New York.
Wow.
That's when,
Oh, yeah,
that one,
didn't
the
they get locked
AMP
up or
one,
whatever for that?
Yeah.
That
Insane.
That was
was
insane.
9,000.
9,000 people. I'm giving away PS5s. 9,000 people come and show up, go rioting, smashing shit. Like he was, he was
That-
obviously like not. He wasn't condoning the behavior.
Yeah, of
like
course.
he came on and he apologized.
But that was a funny video when you think about it. Though. Like you can tell in their head they're like, "But we did that."
Yeah,
but then,
yeah.
But then come on for the PR of like, guys, that is not on. We don't condone this.
I do not condone this.
You know what I mean?
I'm so ashamed of you guys.
Round 2 next week.
Oh, numbers, man.
Yeah, it was crazy numbers. Like I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
So yeah, more streaming and more.
More streaming, more YouTube, more working behind the scenes on my fashion brand coming up.
Oh.
So those are the 3 projects. Oh, and I have a little side quest. I'm planning my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, my
And that's a
birthday.
side quest.
Side quest, yeah. So I'm doing a little. I really wanted to have like a big masquerade ball.
Yeah,
Invite close friends, but also invite people who I've met from the
That'd be
industry.
sick, yeah.
I wanted to have it as like a almost like a PR event. Like
Okay,
the same vibe as a PR event.
Yeah.
Like people just go there to have vibes and just talk to each other.
Regardless. Yeah.
That's regardless. But everyone's just wearing masks. So no one knows who anyone is.
That's
cool.
That would be
is
cool.
a very
So like you don't have to have that guys or
no one ends up saying happy birthday to him because he's like, I had a horrible time.
Where's the birthday boy? But like no one knows who each other are. So it has that sort of like anonymity aspect. But like people wouldn't like be putting up fronts of like I'm this sort of person. Like, so all of that is like left at the door when you put the mask on.
That's what's
awesome.
up.
That is awesome.
I think you better. Just before. I feel like I cut you off.
Yeah, I forgot it.
My bad. Yeek, my bad. That's sick, man. Now we're definitely keeping an eye out for that, man. Do you have am I the asshole? Are you doing any of those today?
No, not today.
Oh man,
I love it.
I wanted to launch them. You didn't do it?
Not starting it
That
today.
is
No.
actually peak, man. Nice, man. What I was interested then is what are you watching right now, man? What's the anime that's got you? I'm so mad that we lost the anime talk from the last one.
Yeah. I actually listened back to my top 5 recommendations. And I kicked myself because I didn't include One Piece.
That's the top 5?
That's the top 5.
It is.
I was watching it back and I was like, I didn't say One Piece. I'm going to get slammed for this.
It is a top 5. I have to agree, but it's maybe because I'm not up to date. Nah, like I'm not up to date. That's why I can't.
Right now I'm watching watching Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. The first episode of the second arc came out. Beautiful.
First episode, second.
Hold on. The first episode of the the first episode of the Shibuya arc in season 2. So you've got.
Daniel's like,
No,
because I just waxed the first 5. I was like, oh damn! I was like, what's going on?
That's the first arc. That's the Gojo. That's the Gojo flashback.
Yeah, I'm happy now.
Yeah,
because I was kind of mad. I was like, bro, what's going on?
No, yeah, exactly. There's more.
Okay.
There's more. But I've been watching that one. But I've also been reading the manga because the manga is cooking right now. Every week I'm like on the Thursday.
Country cooking, bro. Chefing it up, bro. Chefing it up.
He's third world cooking.
Third world cooking, bro.
Every Thursday I'm literally rushing to Viz to see if the chapter is out because it's been, I think the last 12 chapters have been some of the best manga I've read across any manga. So I can't wait for it to be out.
I really need to visual. Like for me, it's hard. It's so hard for me to read manga, man. I've always wanted to, like, always. I used to read back, like, before I started watching like any animes in general. Yeah. But now I'm just such a, like, I really want to see them visually put it all together. Yeah. Maybe I'm losing my imagination.
You know, that's the thing. I have huge imagination. So I was like, imagine if what would this look like?
Yeah.
And so when I'm reading it, I'm like in my head. Yeah. That's what's going on, and that's actually helps me practice my editing, stuff like that. So like
this is why my videos don't bang, bro.
Get some creativity.
You know, my only interaction with mangas is we used to have a bunch in the library at our school, and I used to cut the barcodes off them and throw them in people's pencil case because I thought no one reads these books. So when they walk out, it start beeping.
You were that guy that was doing that. No wonder I couldn't borrow my.
That is so evil.
No, that's funny because I used to do the same thing with. I would put obscure manga in people's bags. So when they walk out, and then they go to the front. They pull out and they're like
with the heavies, bro.
Literally.
Mom, I didn't take this book.
I used to do that, sneaking into people's bags,
trying to put people on game. Man.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this. Like I saw this like TikToker. He went up to this like old couple. He's like, oh, we're just giving out. Must have been like iPhones or chargers or something. We're just giving these out today to people. Like they're in the shop. Must be like a Target or Walmart. Yeah. Just take a photo. It's free. She's like, for free? Oh, yeah, we're just giving them out. The guy actually got the employee to just take it off the shelf, and he just gave it to her in her bag. It wasn't paid for, nothing. Still got the barcode on. So she's gassed walking out of the shop. I'm like, you have to be a different kind of evil, man. Yeah. To set up this old lady like this, man. Funny, man.
I did want to ask you, so last time we shot the episode was, I think, 3 or 4 days after Threads came out.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
Where you at? Right
where we all at with it? Because it's quiet, huh?
All right, so...
Because you were actively using it at the time.
I was.
What's it saying?
Look.
It's still on your phone, yeah?
It's still on my It's still on my phone. I still thread. I still am out of pocket, just not as often.
Not yet.
I'm not posting because I'm realizing just, for example, yesterday I put up I don't know if you saw them. I'll show you guys something. I think I deleted it because it was a bit much. But I'm going down the route of anime and manga news. So like keeping people updated with like stuff going on, but also just like flexing my writing muscle every now and again. Like cool. seeing if it's something funny that happens, I'll just put it. But I'm just not threading as much as I used to. Like I was threading like every
Every 2 seconds.
Every 2 seconds. But now it's just like the other day. I'll tell you. Rather, I think maybe let me show you this.
Okay, all right.
Dog, do you get a purple case for the fit?
No. this is unintentional. Completely unintentional.
It's drippy though, man. You can't lie. It's funny though what Instagram is doing now. That it shows threads on Instagram feed as well. Yeah. Like it
I've never seen that.
I saw it yesterday. Yesterday was the first time.
Then some of the brands just all unset the emails.
I'll try and find one for you. I'll try and find one for you. Oh, is that no? So yesterday I was on IG. I'm scrolling, and it actually had a threads.
Wow.
Like just a mini feed kind of thing.
I have not
so
seen
you
that.
can.
You must be on beta, like they're testing.
I think I do. I keep getting because I always get random. You scroll through IG, and then generally it'll be a bar there, and then it's threads, and you can swipe through them like that, and then it says open app if you want to go to the threads.
That's really
I was
cool.
like, this is a nice integration.
Yeah.
That's a very nice.
Do I have to hold it down?
Don't read it out loud. Whatever it is.
Oh my days. $5 if you want to see what he put up. Yeah,
I made money last week.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Let me just say it's worth it.
Yo. Bro, that's why a brand is not gonna
Exactly. So like, now they said that you see it on the Instagram feed. I have to watch out my threads.
It came up
because,
on the feed.
I'm always out of pocket. I like going into big creators things and just like talking to them like a normal person. Just saying something, saying some banter, or just like giving some feedback.
Is this still does that stuff? Because I haven't been on a bit. I think because I saw the scrolling thing yesterday. That was like the first time I went back on it after a while. You don't check Instagram?
No, I'm glad I have to check my Instagram app
if it comes out,
because that's cool.
But is that still the nature of it? Like, are people still like? Because remember, we were saying like this literally is because how many years would we say this social media has been on for? Like, let's say 20 years. It was like a 20 years of social media
activity
and internet activity
in one day,
all in one day. Was kind of how we described it, right?
Yeah.
Are people still figuring it out?
I think people have figured it out.
Yeah.
It's just that before people were more curious about it because they didn't know about the app.
Yeah.
Now people know everything about the app. They need more on the app.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's when it will start picking up again. Like when there's more like this feature you just mentioned.
Yeah.
When they add more features to the app, that's when it'll pick up again.
Yeah.
I also think it's right now it's just a little bit more dead because they are fixing it up.
Yeah.
Like those features.
Less activity from them.
It's hard to be organically discovered on Threads. Like I did get a few people from Threads and who converted over into Instagram, but it's hard to find new people because they don't have like a For You page or they don't, and there's no ads, which is good. There's still no ads, which is really good. But people are still pushing their own stuff. Yeah. If that makes sense, using it for ads.
I'm interested to see where we go with all this.
We'll see where it goes.
Social media.
Beyond Threads.
If it's on Instagram, I can't be posting that. I can't be putting that. The replies are going that.
Yeah, no, it showed up, man. So yeah, you might need to suss that out.
I agree, though.
This is why
I agree. Yeah, this makes sense.
Come on, brothers in arms, bro. Yeah.
There's just something about it. I don't know,
bro. I'm interested to see where all these kind of things go, man. Like, I mean, TikTok is. I was very much apprehensive in the beginning of like, is this really going to pop off? And it's taking over.
Off.
I had a friend say like accurately call it like in 2 years. TikTok is going to be the biggest app in the world. I was like, you're crazy.
How? Like,
I messaged her when I started TikTok. I was like,
so
you're right.
This is my life.
This is my life right now.
It's crazy.
You're right all the time back
there.
They got it so right though.
Yeah.
Like the creators of TikTok got it so right. Like I don't know if there's anything else that can come that would be bigger than that. Like I don't know what else people would fiend for or need in an app.
I think they revolutionized the way we consume content in that like they went, I'm going to keep giving you what you are not following. And we went, you know what, we actually do like that.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot.
True.
You
How
know?
often do we actually?
I never look at the side of, like, you know when you can swipe and go to who I'm following?
Yeah.
Never look at that.
Yeah, same.
I'll never look at that. My friends post shite content. I want to see what Kev Pong is posting. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That is
Exactly.
true.
No,
That is
that's I do like to check the follow tab just because I hate that awkward conversation of, have you seen my latest video? And it's like,
Nah.
I haven't seen
Nah, I
it.
haven't.
I haven't seen it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that was funny. What did I say?
Oh, you like my videos? Name 3 videos.
Yeah. That is, man.
Wait, even like I think I mentioned this before. Going out with Kevin yesterday, there were people reciting lines in my videos and lines in his videos back to us,
That's crazy.
and I'm like, that's the feeling like when an artist is in a stadium.
Yeah.
And the stadium
Yeah.
singing back to you. It's not the same. It's not the same scale, but
Magnitude,
it's
yeah.
like
But
same
People,
feeling.
yeah,
Same
people
massive,
connected
man.
and respected your work so much that they've committed it to
Yeah.
memory.
Exactly.
Definitely.
You have so much more space.
Exactly.
You can put anything
There's
else
more
in your
important
mind.
things in
I
life.
could've
Yeah.
learned quantum
Me
physics.
shaking my ass.
Quantum physics you could have learned.
But all I remember is east.
Oh yeah, nah, it's madness. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where things kind of like continue to go with what we're up to, what's content, what's grabbing people's attention. Because I really constantly wonder. Like I'll see like my family friends, young family friends, on cousins or whatever. They're so young and they're scrolling on phones. Like they know how to do it.
Get to the app.
They know how to open the app. They know how to go on YouTube. And
Seen that meme that's like when you give like a baby, I don't know, like a pencil, and it's like they don't understand how to hold it. When you give them a phone, and it's like a hacker sitting behind the computer.
It's so
what
true
it's
though.
like right now. man.
So true.
I remember I have this video of like one of our family friends. Like she's I don't know how old, she's like 2, I think, and she's on her
Swiping on.
and she's like properly like this is how she was
Like,
holding the
she
phone.
knows what she's doing.
Wait, so how old is she? 2?
She's 2.
They know.
This. And I was like, this is crazy. But it just goes to show how much attention is on these spaces, and it's like that's what I'm very interested in seeing. Like, how do we manage this? Where do we go? What captures
Attention's the
attention?
new
Who are the
currency.
heroes? That's what.
Attention's the new currency, and especially
Nah.
one of the new heroes will be AI. Let me just say that.
AI
Let me
would-
just say that.
AI almost saved our podcast. Almost. It almost saved the episode.
yeah, I sent you
Thanks
the-
for the
yeah,
shout.
yeah.
Yeah. It almost saved it. But I was like, nah, still not.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
still
we
not
need the
top.
quality. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's real. That thing is really good for just like
Yeah,
fixing up.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna invest. we're gonna look into that. Yeah, it's mad. It's
But yeah,
so interesting.
there's so much you can do with AI. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing streamers. It's in my opinion, it's scummy. But there was one streamer I saw. She capitalized on her male audience. Instead of making, I'm not sure if she has no OnlyFans, but she made an app of a digital version of herself that was made with AI for her fans to communicate with her.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
And she made
And they're down to people
You
making
gotta
money.
be,
people downloaded it and she made bank from it. I'm like,
That's not.
I'm
even
not mad at
fair.
her.
it's not
Yeah.
her. It's
But
it's
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 them,
her
bro.
voice. It's what she might say.
Yeah.
It's a 3. I don't know if it's like a representation of her, like a 3D
Yeah. Like a
representation.
render or
Yeah, like a
something, yeah.
render, and it's feeding you lines. It's like a chatbot, like this on Snapchat. You know how you have the AI bot.
Oh my
like
days!
that.
I was so scared
That's
of
very
that chatbot.
interesting.
They're just so it's just there at the top constantly.
I'm not gonna lie though. Snapchat recently, that's another project. I didn't realize how.
Oh, there's cracking it.
Snapchat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There's-
reviving, yeah?
There's cracking it.
It's
yeah.
reviving.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is so weird.
Bro,
Yeah.
Snapchat owes the South Sudanese community for holding it down on those quiet years.
Yeah.
Because South Sudanese people are the only
They've
ones
been
holding
using it.
down
They've been using
Snapchat, and now they're back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snapchat's
Bro, but
coming
people
back.
are doing the subscriptions on those kind.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's just so many avenues, so many places now. Anyone can be talking. Anyone can have a voice. So I'm just like, yo, I really, really wonder who is gonna be
Who'll be the
spearheading
next?
this?
Yeah,
Who's next,
and that's the
you know?
thing. It's like there's talent out there. It just hasn't been found yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, who is going to be that talent that just bursts out from nowhere?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
Come on.
corny now. Even Bobby Altov and the Drake interview.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
where
yeah.
did that come from? Who is
Oh,
this
yeah.
girl?
I don't think she can just because
heard
I
about
think
that one.
people really quickly.
There's a disconnect.
It feels disingenuous. It feels really
It feels
disingenuous
disingenuous.
that I think she was getting all her biggest numbers around these black celebrities, where she would act really dumb and disinterested, and then she would go on like Boston or something and hang out with
I saw that.
white podcasters and stuff and like talk exactly normal. And,
Yeah.
and people were like, okay, this is really weird. Like, fair enough, you're a guest on a show, so now you're not gonna run it. But I don't know. It's just.
She was talking about how awkward it was with Lil Yachty when her whole shtick is being awkward.
Is
Yes.
that awkwardness?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, then again, like I said, anyone is popping.
Anyone.
I mean, she had her own stuff before, and I think she was popping with a lot of like pregnancy talk.
Yeah,
There's
she
a lot
was
of
on
stuff
pregnancy
going on,
talk,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was something like
She was doing stuff beforehand
something
even, yeah,
stuff
for
before,
sure.
but of course, I'm not on pregnancy talk.
Yeah, like who's this?
Yeah, so I haven't seen her before. But she just sort of came out of nowhere because she got that Drake interview.
Yeah.
It's pushed and
Have you watched the whole thing? Like ever?
I've only watched snippets of it.
I watched a bit, and when I went to watch it again, it was off. It's taken off.
Yeah, she deleted it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Who
so
knows,
I thought it was a PR stunt, but if it is a PR stunt,
It's continuing.
It's really smart, but
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
The show's continuing, man. But
Yeah.
yo, hopefully this has been recording and audio has been
Hopefully.
captured.
Testing.
We want to know. I mean, I don't know if you've got a
Don't
wake up
worry.
call for this
I don't have a
weekend. No
wake
wake
up
up
call,
call,
man.
yeah.
I'm sleepy.
Said I'm sleeping. Right, you're on Europe
Wait, sorry,
time.
can I bring one thing?
Yes.
I remember listening to one of your previous episodes. You guys were thinking about doing shows.
Live
Live
show.
Oh, yeah,
Show.
live show's coming. Yeah.
Live show for
That's
sure.
coming, that's coming.
Yeah.
That's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
When?
Correct.
We need
We've
to
set
lock
the-
in a date.
We haven't locked in a date.
We
but
know
we're
it's-
saying potentially end of October is what
Okay.
we said.
Yeah,
right?
mid to end. Yeah.
Mid to end of October.
Cool.
So if you're trying to
Another
see
trip,
what's good
another
in
trip.
Melbourne,
Another trip to Melbourne.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, I'll be
So yeah, no, live show has to run. Like
Yeah.
it has to.
Yeah,
Have to.
literally, yesterday we were talking about it. I'm like, I literally really want this to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to. Make,
that's such a
It
good idea.
will.
It'll
I
be
think the
sick.
people want it. The people want it, and it's a good opportunity to just have people around. Like you know, what I mean, people that people recognize, respect. They'll come and recite your words to you again.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's like it's an actual experience. Like it's not just like it's a show. It's not just a
lot of
live
people
podcast.
involved,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's in the works. But I mean, yeah, what's good with you? What can people tap into right now?
I'm just, you can tap into my Instagram, ONYEDKWE. Same name across all social media, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Threads. Get on my Threads. Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Do you have a rough timeline on like in your mind like of like by this day I want episode 1 of the
Oh, I don't have a rough timeline because right now I'm still designing.
Yeah.
Right now I'm still doing the designs on the pieces. But generally, I aim to release by maybe March next year.
Yes.
What's up, man?
Like I'm a perfectionist. I really want everything done right.
Yeah.
Don't want to rush it. I want to make sure I'm talking to
definitely.
the right people.
We're dripping in March. Say no more.
Yeah.
Say no more then. That's it, man.
you.
Hey, what you got, bro? Thank you for joining
That's
us,
it.
man.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share us around. Make sure you follow Onye. And we'll see you guys episode 212.
212, man. We're moving.
Peace out.
We made the
See
Sydney
ya.
episode work in Melbourne. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We made it happen, man. But I thank you, bro. Peace.
Laters.